Yo, come one, come all, nothing but love, nothing but respect. You know what we do, what we don't, what we is, and what we is here today on this freaking beautiful day of days, because it is Friday. And you know what that means? That means more One Piece greatness. We're here today with chapter 1038 of One Piece, and I'm damn well excited. If you haven't read the chapter yet, or you want to read along with me, alright, the link to the chapter is in my Discord. The link to the Discord is in the description down below, so go join my Discord, go over to chapter links, you're all sorted. But in the meantime, let's just get straight into it. Let's just get straight into the greatness, alright? Chapter 1038 is called Kid and Law versus Big Mom. Sort of actually lucky that I made Kid Law and Luffy, I should say, but I made Kid and Law part of the, the stream image, so it's kind of good timing on my part, actually. But yo, ooh, my mouse is frozen there. Yo, okay, so we pick up Germa 66, or Germa 66. Cold-Blooded Voyage Volume 3. Niji and Yonji captured in Chocolate Town in Cacao Island. Yo, does anyone else feel crazy to think that... I mean, like, Niji and Yonji are captured. Shit. They got beaten. They got their shit handed to them. Can we just acknowledge that for a second? Please? Someone? Anyone? No? That's wild to me. Seriously though, like, they got overwhelmed. But also, this is like I almost cracked the shits. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like all the repercussions we had for Whole Cake Island were like essentially, gone. Like there was no issues in Whole Cake Island really. Like by the end of it, everyone got away scot free. Jinbei showed up. We knew that the crew his fishman crew was fine. Like the how am I forgetting their names? The new Fishman Pirates, they were all fine. Everyone was fine. So it's sort of like, who cared? But yo, if Niji and Yonji get captured, that's actually pretty funny. And we see Pudding there, and Oven's just standing guard. So that explains where Oven is at the moment. I mean, that's assuming that this is now. Like I was saying before, this could have been the same day that we got Luffy's 1.5 bill bounty. Right, this could be a little bit back in time, so we don't know what's going on. I wonder if Judge is going to turn around and try to get them, but then again, maybe like, would he want to leave them there? No, but would he bother going back to get them? Because it's like, it's a hard place to get to, and like low key, Judge is a bit of a bitch. He's okay to abandon a kid here and there. So I wonder if like Niji and Yonji are just permanently captured here. Or if over the course of this, maybe Pudding frees them and they feel indebted to Pudding. Like, they would still treat her like shit, but they might be like, oh, you're Sanji, you're Sanji's wife. Cheers for freeing us, we'll get you out of here or whatever. And maybe we get Pudding come back into the fray with the Vinsmokes or something, who knows? That would definitely be an interesting or different take on what I would have expected to happen. All right, but yeah, all right. As interesting as this cover page is, a chapter with the name like Kid and Law vs. Big Mom, I got to get into that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got to get straight into that. Yo, castle interior, 3rd floor. A fiery passion. Ooh, shit. Oh! The flames. Release your jutsu, Raizo, or we will both perish. Yo, Raizo's going freaking hard. Is that fire on his hand, or is that Rio? Because my dude Raizo at this point in time, he looks like he's being burnt alive. And he's just got the resolve. He's just like, if I die, so be it. Look at this dude. Seriously, look at this dude, Fukurojuko. He's shitting himself like, it's hot. Oh, what am I doing? Ooh. Hang on 2 seconds. Just got a notification from my editor, I should say. I don't really have an editor, but it was from someone that was watching the stream. Yo, second floor. We must flee. It's a dead end there. There is nowhere to go. Yo. I ain't gonna lie, it's actually starting to grow on me. I would actually kind of like if Raizo takes out Fukurojuko and it's like a suicide. Or like a, you know, like I take you out, you take me out. Trading of lives. Yo. Everywhere's starting to like go to shit too. The ceiling's coming down. Gear, yo, every chapter needs a gear or a kia, especially in Wano. Yeah, my dude Jinbei, hands to the roof, raise the roof, baby. You're one of the Straw Hats. I thought there might be a few stragglers. Get moving quick. Yo, look at this man coming in like Odin, just bearing the brunt for everyone. Just like I am the helmsman now. Look at me. I am the helmsman now. How is that fire spreading so fast? At this rate, countless are going to burn to death. Yo, and we see some of the beast pirates and samurai just KO'd on the ground, getting burnt to a crisp. That dude there in the panel to the left of Jinbei, if I didn't know any better, the one in the back, it almost looks like Penguin facing the other direction, but I know Oda ain't about to take out one of the Heart Pirates in a low diff panel off screen from Heat. I know you're not about to do that to Law there, Oda. Surely not. Yo, dying in battle would be less cruel. Live floor. Yo, so we're back down on the main stage. Get away from Big Mom. We can't get caught in the crossfire. Oh, Chopper Sensei. Oh, what the devil? Oh, yo, Chopper's back to his normal form. Oh, no more Chibi Chop. I mean, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, there it is. Yo, the Hua and the Kia. Every chapter, you need a little Kia. Yo, Tristan and Miyagi. Thank goodness you've recovered. I'm back to normal. Those side effects made me withered and weak for a while. This is nothing, though. I'm more worried about Zoro, Miyagi. That's right, the remedy he took. That super recovery also has a great cost, right? All the damage he suffered will come back many times worse. I hope he's won his fight already. Oh, my dudes. Yo, it's just... the fact that Zoro's taking this medicine and he's going to have 4 times the damage, does that mean he's going to have 4 times the Haki Bloom when he's fully back to health? If anyone's watching, chat, let me know what your thoughts are on that. Like, is my dude about to come back with a 4 times strength boost, having already taken out a first commander and 40 Yonko? Yo. Before his injuries were so bad, he couldn't move. If those wounds got multiple times worse. Zoro, please don't die on us. Huff, huff. Is this man hallucinating death? Who the hell are you? What's happening? My body, it won't move. Stop, get away from me. Yo, please tell me. Please tell me if that is just a fake embodiment of death. Please tell me it says move towards the light or something. Like, as a gag. And Zoro's like, no, I won't move towards the light. Never. And he starts running right towards the light. And then Chopper like jabs him with a cure or something or wakes him up. That'd actually be freaking hilarious. Dome interior, right brain tower. Oh, so it's just... Frankie's just near Zoro there. Out of the way. Yeah, and he's coming in with the nipple rockets or the shoulder rockets. It's hard to tell. Zoro, you bastard. Where did you go? First floor attic. God damn it. Why did a former Whitebeard commander have to come and help those damn upstarts? Yup. Ooh, Izo's been dropping all these fools. Ooh, but he's injured too, yo. I tell you what. Izo kind of looking like he's injured, but he's looking mighty manly right now. I ain't gonna lie. He's jacked as shit with a little bit of his feminine touch. He does his own thing, all right. Basement level 1. Yo, he jumps. This dude just what level was he on there? First floor attic. So he jumps from the roof down to the next floor. Lands down. He's bleeding a bit. He's been hit. I underestimated their numbers advantage. They may have been small fry, but they were still members of the Beast Pirates. Kiku, Kinemon, I hope my actions allowed you to, the two of you to escape. Oh! No! Oh, let's go! Yo, his Haki kicks in, he sends a summon, he just whips around, pistol to the face. Huh? Cypher Pole? No, they're walking up on Ezo, no. Yes, we're from the AG0 branch. I heard you were on the island, Ezo. Let's just pretend we never saw each other. We technically aren't meant to let you off the hook for being a member of a notorious crew, but we've currently got our eyes set on the Straw Hats. Ooh. I'm sure we'll meet again. Yo, that's ominous as fuck. The dude's just like, yo, I can take you out here, man, but I just need to get past you and take out the other dudes first. I'll come back for your head, Ezo. Yo, stop. Not another set. Oh, no. Oh, shit. Is Zero going to take down Ezo? Oh, I don't know. Oh. Ezo, my guy, please. Please don't let it go. Yo, Basement Armory. We've got Yamato neck and neck with this monster. I've got to take it. I've got to... There it is. Hey, stop. Oh, shit. We're right on the nick of it here. Please hang on. Yo, what the... Yo, look at all these explosives. Yo. I may have to do a whole series or a whole discussion about the Beast Pirates if they had a Marineford situation, right? Because low key, I like, you know, Marineford was great. Whitebeard was a G. Everything was freaking chef kiss. But shit would have been different if it was Kaido. And I'm not saying Kaido's more or less threatening than Whitebeard, but what I'm saying is having Queen coming up and just shooting out poisonous gas canisters, just boom, 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 tear gassing the shit out of the Marines. And then these giant ass bombs, bigger than Yamato. You gotta think, these bombs are like the height of an admiral, and they're just gonna be plopping them, shooting them out of their big ass cannons like cannonballs, right? Plus the long range cannons. Yo, that would have been so... That actually might be a discussion I've got to do sometime. Please, hang on. Namuja Hyoga. Ooh, she freezes them. Well, if that gunpowder goes off, we'll all be destroyed. Oh, it's starting to melt through it. Don't touch it. Maharoba. Yo, that's like a glacial swing. Yo, she can do elemental slashes. Kinemon, you got your match made right now. Orochi-sama. Huh? Orochi-sama, a hand? Yo! Oh, I was about to say, did that just knock Yamato straight out of hybrid form? No, she transforms out of hybrid form to fight. But it just beats into her with a big hand of fire. Like a little like third arm of fire, yo. Live 4. Have mercy, Big Mum. They can't even move. They can't even move. If you keep going, they're gonna die. Please, spare them. Your underlings are begging now. Those must be kids, pirates. Captain! You two have really hit rock bottom. Mama! Boss! Oh, she has beaten. My God. Oh. Why is it what you always want and what makes perfect sense always hurts the most to see? You know what I mean? It's like, kid and Law. They should not have taken out Big Mom. And they haven't. Like, she's beating them down. Like, I can feel that they're going to get back up, maybe. Probably. Hopefully. Yo, time after time, she slaps these guys down. She just beats them down into a bloody pulp. Ugh. Yo, just look at it. Actually, just look at it. Law's just, like, out, not moving. Face down, almost. Kid's on his back, eyes wide out, just like, oh, fuck. Big Mum panting. Boss, get it together. Are you still breathing? Yo, ooh, and we can see some of the kid pirates here. He's got one kind of tall looking dude. Like, yo, I love Kid, but yo, his crew does not look anything special. Where was Heat? Where's Wire? Why aren't they here? You know, run some support or something. Why can't any other crew do, like, just even try to emulate what the Straw Hats did against, like, Little Oars Jr.? Come on. You got two crews here. Like, you may do nothing to her, but, like, you know, trick the big gal into not taking more hits against people that are down. Do something. You guys are worthless. Medics, we have to save the captain. You don't even make a move, and she just does like an area of it. Yo, I gotta say, Hera's looking filthy here. Hera is actually looking mad fucking filthy here. Right? But yo, look at this shit. Big Mom just goes, ah! Quit your belly aching. This is a battlefield, you pests. Kia, kia. Tenmin Tenjin. Yeah, she just does like she just puts her hands up. Right? And just sends out two massive lightning bolts that just does mad area of effect damage to all of these little shits. She straight up just blitzes them. Yo, why does Big Mum... Yo, you ever have a thought hit you that's just kind of like, Why does Big Mum genuinely... why does Big Mum genuinely sort of look like the female version of Hyogoro here? With the fire hair and the sword, just she's looking like a beast. Yo, but we see Laws and Kid's crew go down there. They just got fried. Pant. Now then, I don't think that Kaido has let out his usual victory cry yet. Ooh. Yo, when Kaido wins, does he do the woo-roo-roo-roo? Like, does he say it with his chest? You know, a little bit of confidence. Say it with your chest. Don't tell me that puny Straw Hat brat is still holding out alone. You better not be playing with your food, Kaido. Hera, take me to the roof. Yes, Mama. I'm beat. Let's finish this quickly. Oh! Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Stood on the cord. Yo, here we fucking go. Here we fucking go. Let's go. Yo, do you know what? Before I say this, I have to preface, alright? Do you have any idea how much I love my guy Trafalgar the Waterloo? For a long time, he was my favorite character in the series, right? I got this a few Christmases ago, right? I love me some War, alright? He is an absolute monster. I love him, but yo, this dude is the best at being beaten down. Enemy turns their back to him. He's like, I'm going to stab her in the back, man. I don't give a shit. I'm a calculating pirate. I'm going to stab this big gal in her big back. Look at this. Kroom, or K-Room. Anesthesia, yo. And he does the K-Room over his sword. This is the end. Oh! Oh shit! So I was right with the first time he did it. He can extend his sword. So yo, he stabs her clean through the arm, the jaw, straight out the other side of her cheek. Kia, Mama. He killed Big Mom. Traffy. What's with that huge blade? Like the last attack, you barely feel the prick. But what are you doing? Knock it off. Shock Willie. Yo, that fucking feeds her. Yo, she's spewing blood and everything. How dare you hurt Mama? Huh? What? Something? No, nah. I'm taking a moment there. I gotta dissect that. So, yo, we see a bit of a better angle here, right? We see it going through her cheek, but we don't see any sword in her mouth. So, the sword, when it makes contact with something, the next part of the sword, like he can extend his sword, right? So it's like his room. He can extend his room. He can extend his sword when he's put the croom over his sword, right? But when it hits someone, it doesn't just like stab through them or go through them, right? It's like fitting its way in between, like a series of conductors almost. So he hasn't actually pierced her, but the sword like goes to her body, and then it's like one conductor on either side of her body, so the attack goes through her by the looks of it. Yeah, that's wild. Alright. Pulling us in. What? I'm sick of these steel beams running their mouths. Just obey me. My magnetic field's already... Oh! Yo, fuck that. I was too busy reading. I didn't even register who that was for a second. What? Pulling us in. I'm sick of these steel beams running their mouths. Just obey my magnetic fields already. Yo, and we see Kid is able to pull in the homies. You can still stand, Kid? Guess you kids are hell-bent on taking my head. It's weird. I feel like I have a new reason to keep fighting. I bet you anything Kaido is reaching his limit up there. If you give it long enough, even mountains can be worn down by the... Yo! Oh, they say you emperors are invincible? What a joke. There's no such thing. Yo, Punk Corner Dio. Yo, and he charges in with like a homemade metal bull. Or like it's either a bull or a cow. I can't see any horn, so I don't know if it's a bull, but it looks like a cow head on the front. Or maybe it's a bull head. Yeah, okay, it's a massive bull. Okay, it's a bull. Oh, so you see the horns. Oh, okay, there they are. Shit. Does that pierce Big Mom? It's a massive bull. It's even bigger than Big Mom in her giant form. Listen up, you hag. I don't care if it kills me. You're not reaching the roof. Yo, they're putting their lives on the line. Next issue, cover and colors. Oh, shit. Yo. So he just charges her in. I can't even say they haven't done anything to Big Mom. I mean, like, I want to say Law's done a lot more, but, like, she even says that she's tired. Where is it? She beats them down, right? Takes out the crew, and then she goes... Where is it? I'm beat. And, like, you can see the scuff marks. She's been hit a bit, and she's bled. Like, shit, they made her bleed. Yo, Big Mom is actually looking like a weapon. She may be a goofball, right? In a one-on-one fight, she would be such a monster to go against. It is filthy. She has such versatility and utility. But yo, it did get teased. Oh, shit. Okay. The chapter of the title was Law and Kid vs. Big Mom, though, right? So it's like... If we think about it, oh... Hang on a second. Yo. Alright, I'm back. Oh, that's wild though. That is actually wild. I want an in-depth explanation from Oda as to what the shit is going on with Law's awakening here. Because, like I'm saying, the way I'm interpreting it, right, is he's creating the K room, right? And normally with his room, he can make his room as big or as small as he wants, right? With his K room, he's coating something in his K room, and then he can still adjust the size of the room as he sees fit, which adjusts the size of the object. But it bypasses through objects, but works as a channeling path or a conductor. So like Shock Willy is like, it bypasses her arm and into her mouth and that, right? But it's like whatever the attack is, like say it's like a supercharged counter shock. It hits her arm and her mouth. Like it hits two different points almost. Or is it going through like an electrical current where it just goes in one direction and just causes significant pain, like that gets worse towards the tip. Shit, is Big Mom going down next chapter? Because every other fight we've had where it's been like so-and-so versus blank, the next chapter, they've taken out the person. And the next issue is a cover, like it has a color spread. Oh, no, I don't know how to feel about that. I genuinely don't know how to feel about that right now. Ooh. Yo, and Yamato is trying to defend right on this bomb. Unless she's able to engulf this thing completely in ice, I don't know if she's going to be able to get rid of it. But because it's a drawing, I don't know if it functions typically like actual fire. Yo, this chapter had so much in it. Yo, okay. This chapter, it had a lot in it, but it could have been a bit better. But it had a... This is an 8 out of 10. Right? We got repercussions from Whole Cake Island with Niji and Yonji. That's like that's actually good to see, right? Then we cut away. We have Raizo and Fukurojuko. That's funny. I'm actually like loving that, but it's also like a bit of stakes in it, right? The Jinbei bit, I didn't really care one way or the other. Same with Chopper. Like it was just needed to happen. The Zoro bit was funny to me. The fact that he's dealing with like the Grim Reapers like coming for him, just like, you know what I mean? And the fact that, I mean, does that mean canonically in the One Piece world there's a Grim Reaper, or is it just Zoro hallucinating? You know what I'm saying? So that's funny. Frankie, I think, is Zoro. You bastard, where'd you go? I'm pretty sure Frankie's trying to find Zoro, so he'll make his way there soon. The Izo versus CP0 matchup has me wild, because it's either Izo beats them, right? 1v2, and CP0 look trash, or Izo fights one of them 1v1, while the other continues the mission, right? Izo seemingly has Rio bullets, so this would be a difficult but interesting, like a real difficult but real interesting fight, right? But then the flip side of it is, yo, hey, it's good to see you, Good XL. Good to see you, my guy. Chat should be livening up a bit from here on out, mate. Good to see you. But yo, looking at Izo here versus CP0, right? If CP0 beat him, I'm actually going to feel gutted, because my guy Izo is actually like, he hasn't done the most, but he's come in clutch in a few different ways throughout this arc, right? And so I'm sort of here and I'm like, what do I want more? Do I want Izo to survive and be a badass? Or potentially CP0 to survive and be threatening and menacing? Because so far, they've low diffed a number. They've low diffed Drake, who's got a 222 mil bounty, right? And for anyone that's just like, oh, that's just his pre-time skip bounty. No, that's his post-time skip bounty too. We found that out. If they beat Izzo's 510 mil, right? Now that could be like a good representation or not of how strong Izzo is, but that is definitely interesting to consider. Definitely interesting to consider, right? See, it's hard here because he's like, yeah, we're from the Age Zero branch. I heard you were on the island, Izzo. Let's just pretend we never saw each other. We technically aren't meant to let you off the hook for being a member of a notorious crew, but we've currently got our eyes set on the Straw Hats. I'm sure we'll meet again. Stop, not another step. See, there's a few different types of meaning. What I think is that Scythe Grim Reaper is a CP0 agent, and who's heading there? Chopper, Doctor versus Grim Reaper. Ooh, that I can't say I agree, but that would be interesting. And that would actually be really funny. Ooh, I'm thirsty. Need a nice big juicy H2O. Okay, so Ram Shaman, I don't understand this chapter. What the heck is going on? Okay. What don't you understand? Is it the whole part of the chapter? Or is it specific sections? Because this is a big setup chapter. Like, a really big setup chapter. Because, like, I mean, we got the Ryza vs. Fukurojuko thing. Oh, you don't get the CP0 thing. CP0 is their main goal right now is get Robin. Above all else, it's get Robin. Right? Because everything can be explained with Devil Fruit. Maybe. But yeah, so CP0 this chapter, they're just like, we need Robin. Ignore everyone. Get Robin. After we get Robin, we'll report back that we've got Robin, and then we might do more or leave. Right? Izzo here, like, the thing here is, Izzo was just gonna, like, not deal with them. Just like they weren't going to deal with him. Because you got to remember, Izzo's got a 510 mil bounty, right? So Izzo's no pushover, really. But it is, like... And technically he is a commander of the Whitebeard Pirates, but it is like a 1v2. You know what I mean? So it's like... Chat, who do you think is gonna... Who do you think is gonna actually win? Izzo or CP0? Narratively, who do you think has a better shot at winning? Brook versus the Soul? That would be funny. Brook versus the Grim Reaper guy. That would actually... Like, if that's an actual person, and not just Zoro hallucinating because he's drugged out of his mind, that would be interesting. Frankie's also heading there? Yeah, he is. Izzo will weaken a CP0, and that will become an Usopp matchup. Ooh... Or Usopp will fight in a distance. CP0 right now. See, the question is though, right? We're saying CP0, and I don't disagree, right? But if it is CP0, do they both fight him? Or is it going to be one of the CP0 fight him and the other moves past him? You know what I mean? To continue the mission. Because this guy here that's injured, the guy with the bowler hat and the face mask, right? He's injured, but he only got injured because he got hit unguarded from Apu's music attack. Drake literally didn't touch him from what we saw. You know what I mean? The only injury he copped was an off-guard attack from Apu. The same attack that Apu did to Luffy and knocked him out for a second at the beginning of the arc. You know what I mean? And then after that, this guy proceeds to just deal with everything. So it's like, we're saying Izzo's exhausted, so we might lose this or that, but it's like, it just might be that CP0 is just that strong and just clean him here. But it's like 2-on-1, so it's like, do they bother wasting the time to both of them stay here and then just take him out? Because they would probably, at this point in time, they could probably speed blitz Izzo and it'd be done in 30 seconds or under. Genuinely speaking, Izo's injured. Izo's tired. He had the shit beat out of him from Kaido. And we've got two members here with Rokoshiki techniques that are strong enough to one-shot a number. Like, the numbers... When this raid started, the numbers were being one-shot by, like, a Gear 4 Kongun and, you know, an Excalibur attack. Or, like, a Kizaru laser that Frankie has, you know, the Radical Beam. So it's like, these dudes are doing the same damage with a finger. These dudes could just, like, flank him, speed blitz him. And I hate to say it, but they may just finger Izo to death. Mission first, and one will stay since Brook need one-on-one. Robin is still exhausted to fight. Well, if it's going to be a one-on-one for Brook, it's going to be the tall dude, isn't it? Because, you know, Jinbei fought Who's Who. That's sort of like his CP9 fight. If Brook fights, you know, the masked dude, that would be a great one-on-one for him. And it's like, it'd be funny, actually, if the Rokoshiki techniques don't hurt Brook. Because a finger pistol only hurts flesh. And because Brook's already dead, it won't hurt him. Maybe Oda is going to highlight the Straw Hats who didn't get a proper fight since they joined and Zoro and Sanji are done. Maybe. I mean, at this point in time, right? Usopp hasn't really had a fight, but Usopp doesn't really need a fight here because he sort of had a 2v1 with Nami against Ulti and Ulti and Page 1, right? And he had hurt and dealt with both of those characters a fair bit. Like, he was causing damage to them and being tricky for them, right? And you got to remember, both of those people, like, Page 1 was just shy of 300 mil, right? That's like saying, post-time skip Usopp right now, you're comfortable with him fighting and taking out someone as strong as a pre-time skip Rob Lucci with shave and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So it's like, he doesn't technically need it. It would be cool if he did. But if Oda doesn't give it to him, it's like, I'm not going to be there just like, oh, this is so unfair. Maybe, I think they are going to use some kind of strategy and kidnap Robin. I don't think so. It'll work like Water 7 arc. I think if they get to Robin, honestly, I could just see it as a speed blitz and like a karate chop to the back of the head with a bit of Rio that just knocks Robin out. Like, I can actually see it being something sort of ridiculous like that. Just like, you know, slip in and they put her in like a nerve pinch, make her pass out. Like Rook. Yeah. Mythical Zone, Grim Reaper, or Paramecia. Okay, I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at this Grim Reaper. I'm not gonna read into it thinking it's a CP0 member because I can actually see bone on the arm, right? So unless this is Brook, because Brook's tall. Could Brook have just picked up a scythe and like walked through like the flaming building and that and like had the cloak on and that, and it's just Brook walking outside with the scythe and it's just scaring Zoro for a gag for a second? Because I don't think that we're going to get two skeletons or skeleton characters in One Piece, and it doesn't make sense for them to show a new CP member here, right, that hasn't been set up, unless it's that one that stayed back in the office, because there were 3 members here. But it's like, I could, just looking at it for a second, it does look like Brook. It could just have been like Brook walked through some bad stuff and he's just picked up a scythe for whatever reason. And he's just like walking through everything. But I mean, Brook's supposed to be with Robin, so I don't see why he'd be here. Actually, when's the last time we saw Brook? That might be an easier way, because it does seem like Oda for it to just be a gag. Alright, last chapter. Did we see Brook last chapter? No, we did not. We did not see Brook last chapter. So, what about the chapter before that? Maybe that's why there's a moving skeleton in the opening. Maybe. I don't know how to feel about that, because that could just be an artistic choice, in all honesty. Like, for the anime opening. But I can understand why people are reading into it. See, there's this guy here. This guy here could be, like, a tall Grim Reaper guy. And he's got the cloak too. Except we saw him 2 chapters ago and he's still sitting 2-3 floors above Zoro, just chilling. You know what I mean? Where's Brook? Do we see Brook anywhere? Oh, still some pages that haven't loaded here. Reload it. There we go. Because we've got this bit here with the 2 CP0 members. And they should be... What floor are they on? No, because they're already in the basement. If they're in the basement, if they're in the second basement, they're not going to be upper level where Zoro is. You know what I mean? Damn, when was the last time we saw Brook? Yo, if you haven't done so, anyone that's watching, alright, if you haven't done so already, alright, you know what to do. You know what to appreciate. You know, like the stream, alright? If you're feeling extra nice, subscribe to the channel. We're at 94 subscribers at the moment. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon for more notifications for content like this. Give the video a thumbs up, all that good stuff. Help us hit 100 subs. It is damn well appreciated. Especially while I'm just spending this time scrolling back trying to find where Brook is. This arc has gone on for so long. Like, there's so many moving parts. It's hard sometimes to track down where people are specifically. Especially when you don't just have it in hard copy to just flick through. Like, Brook... At this point in time, Brook hasn't been in the last few chapters. Alright, surely he's in this one. That's Sanji fiddling around with Coin. Damn, he's not going to be in this one either. Holy... It's been a minute since we've seen Brook. It's impossible that it's the drug, though. I believe Big Mom... Okay, why is it impossible that it's the drug? Because I feel like it could just be the side effect of the drug, and it's a hallucination. Like, Zoro's so close to death that he's imagining the Grim Reaper. You know what I mean? Or it could be like, Zoro's so close to death, he's imagining the Grim Reaper. And he's like, I'm gonna die. Oh no. And then it's just like, yo, it's just me, Zoro. You know what I mean? Either one could be funny. It's just, I don't know what it is. Zoro, we originally was implied to take double the damage from this whole situation. And he was already on death's door the first time around. Double that up again. He's going to be, like, hurting. You know what I mean? Then maybe the Straw Hats will go to the rooftop. Oh, I believe Big Mom will win. She is planning to fight Luffy. Then maybe the Straw Hats will go to the rooftop. Also support however they can. I was saying off stream... Oh my... Gosh, sorry. Just before I say that. Yo, 1033. We still haven't seen Brook. We almost haven't seen Brook in 10 chapters. Surely it's this chapter. Yeah, here we go. Blimey. What is it? Chapter 1032. Alright. It's only 6 chapters ago. So, we're on the second basement. And Brook drops down to the second basement. So Brook is below where Zoro is by a significant margin at the moment. Yeah. So they're a fair ways away from they're a fair ways away from Zoro. So it can't be that Brook is a skeleton with Zoro. Or if it is, it doesn't make much sense that he's gone back up a level, considering he was underneath that. Or support however they can. Maybe Zoro got lost and he meets the Grim Reaper. Yep, I wouldn't put it past Zoro to meet the Grim Reaper at this point in time, in all honesty. Alright, Zoro does be into some dumb shit sometimes. Alright. Maybe Robin hit herself on Brooke to disguise as the Grim Reaper. I mean, it's possible. I mean, we didn't see what direction they ran after. We didn't see what direction Brooke and Robin ran after CP0 showed up there. And, like, as you just saw, I just went through all the chapters. We haven't seen him since dropping down onto Fuga's back and catching Robin. Like, when Drake and Apu first encountered CP0 is when we last saw Brooke, right? And they've, like, you know, one's been defeated now, and we've moved past that, and we've kept going. They went to Zoro because CP0 is coming. Maybe that is a possibility. Not gonna lie, that is actually a pretty strong possibility. Yeah. Okay, chat. What's your thoughts on the Big Mum here? You were saying before that you think Big Mum wins, right? I actually was thinking that if Big Mum wins, Law uses the same attack, right? Is it the exact same attack? Yeah, it's K-Room and Shock Wheeler. Yeah, it's the same attack. It's just from a different angle. So he just has 2 abilities. I mean, it might not be that he has 2 abilities. It might mean he's like only got enough stamina to use a limited amount of abilities so far in his awakening. And I mean, the default is the best thing here, where it's just like, if he just can impale her and it bypasses her defense and causes massive internal damage, it's pretty useful. You know what I mean? Tom Cass, people are speculating that the Grim Reaper is the manifestation of Enma. No. The reason why it wouldn't be the manifestation of Enma is because we saw what Enma would have looked like personified. And it's not a Grim Reaper. Alright? Otherwise, you would have had a great point there. Tell me you just started reading. Oh, I'm sorry, my dude. I've already finished reading. We've been going for about, 50 minutes now, my guy. I'm sorry. But we're up to talking. If you wanna go, disappear for a minute, go read the chapter and then come back. I'm sure I'll still be up if you want to do that, my guy. If you're trying to avoid getting spoiled. She wins, but weakened enough that Straw Hats can finish her. I mean, the point kept getting sent across to me, and I thought about the implications of it narratively. That if Law and Kid you keep using their awakening and get Big Mum essentially down to a one-shot, right? You can make the argument that if they just would have had a little bit more stamina, or if Kaido hadn't have hit them just one more time, and they were fresh fighting Big Mum fresh, they could have beaten her, right? If we get to that point, and it's like Big Mum's down to one last hit, right? Because she's just been worn down like crazy. And we get the battle cry of Luffy having beaten Kaido. And Kaido, I'm talking Kaido gets punched. The rooftop shatters. Kaido comes splintering down through all of the levels, sort of like Arlong, right? In Arlong Park. Just gets sent down level by level by level by level. Flattens. And in front of everyone sees him beat. And Big Mom's like, what? And Luffy comes like jumping down too, right? And we could get a moment, right? Where Big Mom's just like, Straw Hat. And Luffy's like, I told you I would deal with you next. She's on her last legs. And Luffy could just come in with a raw one-hit KO and knock her out. There is a possibility of that. And then think about the possibility of what that would do to Luffy's bounty. Right? Because this could be the last bounty Luffy ever gets in the series. It would be freaking crazy if my dude beats Kaido, arguably with help, right? But the speculation is from like CP0 and the people that hear it's like, oh my god, Kaido got beaten. This is insane. And then in front of everyone, Big Mom just gets sent She just gets sent packing. One clean hit to the face. And it's like, we know as readers that Law and Kid did more damage because Big Mom's saying here, she's like, I'm tired, I'm fatigued, I'm out of it. But what would that do for Luffy's bounty? That shit would just go... We wouldn't get no measly 4.6 or 4.7 bill. We would be jumping straight into the mid to high 5 billions there. That 5,600,000,056. Barry Bounty. I'm talking Mr. Gomu Gomu. Kid, even with Awakening, can't damage that much since I think his fruit is really not meant for damage. The inside out. Yo, I mean, that is possible. Kid has been a bit of a letdown. Okay. Do we all kind of agree or kind of think the next chapter is the end of this fight? Because next chapter, right? I mean, this chapter was Lauren Kid versus Big Mom. We got the we got Sanji versus Queen. Next chapter ended. Zoro versus King. Next chapter it ended. Right? As funny as it is, we could see the end of this fight next chapter. If you think Big Mom's winning, fine, Big Mom wins. Or if Kid and Law win, fine, Kid and Law win. It's crazy to think that this fight might be over before Fukurojuko versus Raizo. Okay. Let's go through this though. So the K room is useful here. Does anyone know in the... Yo, Niji and Yonji... No. Out of here. Screw Niji and Yonji, man. Them raid suits didn't save their ass. Look, if you look at the beginning of the chapter, they're still raid suited up, aren't they? So my guy, Niji is a fat rat. Yo, dude. My dude Mondor came in here, opening up his books, put their mind in a whole different dimension, and my dude just slowly pinned them in, thumbtacked them into the book, just like, yeah. Let's put them up for display. People wanted to say we got our ass handed to us? Nah. I refuse. I'ma put these bitch ass Vin Smoke up on display in my welcoming island. I love how the citizens are coming up and looking at him, and they're just like, Niji's just there, just like, I want to leave, I'm bored. Yonji's just like, he's just looking on in utter disgust in himself. I love it though. Absolutely love it. Does anyone know what chapter Law first used his awakening? Try here. What are all the chapters? The tower is that, so the impertinence of all things. I think that might be the chapter. 1030. That might be the chapter where we first see the awakening. Let's shoot through. I wanna actually have a good look and see what this is. I think that's Judge's orders, since it was absolute, and that's the reason they escaped. I mean, look, it could be. Pudding is there. Oven versus Pudding next chapter. Yo, I mean, shit, Oven's there, right? We saw many Vinsmoke's Speed Blitz Oven throughout that arc. All Pudding would need to do is just look at them, like, plain innocent. She walks up, takes the pins out on them, and then they're free from the book, right? They could 2v1 Oven, probably. Like, that's probably not the most unbelievable thing there. So, like, I mean, Germa's 6-6's, Carnage story or whatever it was called, right? It might be that, like, Pudding frees them, and they kidnap Pudding and take her with them, and they're like, yo, it's go. It's too long ago. Okay, it's too long ago, you can't remember? I reckon it's around this... Yeah, okay, it's around this chapter. 1030, there we go. So he does the K room. He puts it over his sword, anesthesia. That incision is harmless. But K room influences your body in other ways. So it is the same attack. So he's used Shock Willy against her twice now. Which is interesting there, right? First time she had a little bit of blood, but she was mostly steaming. I think Law uses his awakening before Sanji versus Queen happened. It was chapter 1030. I got it up here. Cheers, my dude. And then Kid hits her with that. Alright. Yeah, I haven't seen that in the anime, so that's cool. So, okay, if that's 1030, what's happening on 131? Go next chapter. Because I'm pretty sure we open up with them doing the same sort of stuff. So we open up. Take that, you giant hag. So your magnet fruit's awakened power allows you to assign fields of attraction. How long does it last? Why the hell would I tell you? So, I mean, as far as we would tell, it only lasted for that single attack, right? But there could be a lot. Like, there's room for Kid to have more awakened abilities that we haven't seen. Law keeps using the same ability and over because it just might be the way his ability works, if that makes sense. Like, the best way for him to combat is for him to use the K Rune by coating his sword, because it allows him to freely manipulate the length of the sword to bypass through things and daisy chain together attacks. You know what I mean? So, like, with this Shock Wheelie, it goes through her arm and her face, right? Whereas in the other one, in this one here, right down the bottom, because that's a second away. Oh, too far down. Go back, go back! Where are we? Because with this one, right, he just goes through the back of her neck. And I said at the time that Law's sword isn't actually that long. And I speculated whether or not his sword actually extends through. So if you don't believe me, go back and check out the chapter. It was 1030, my reaction for it. But definitely interesting to see how that works, right? But he says it influences your body in other ways. Law definitely has been doing more visual damage to Big Mum so far. By a significant margin. Yeah, okay, and you see here, after Law does it, his sword's still extended, so it still stays big until he changes the length of it back down. Because that's pretty important. Because could that mean then he just makes his sword super extended, right? And he just swings his sword, and if it touches someone, his sword sort of just parts around them, right? Like you know those like joke arrows that you put on your head? It's like, you know, it makes it look like you've been shot through the head with an arrow. It's like, it turns into that. So it's like he swings his sword, it loops around, but like not actually. It just like splits the sword either side of the person, and then acts as a conduit to just like arc an attack between. That's what it seems like is happening there. Do you guys think... I mean, Kid's just charged her with a bull, right? Do you think... And I know this might be a bit desperate at this point in time. Do you think Kid's going to do something more significant next chapter? Do you think the first two times with Law using Shock Willy was more impressive for Law than anything Kid's done so far? So Oda's getting Law's feats out of the way first for Kid to have a bigger feat? Or am I reaching too much? Or hoping for too much? What do you think, chat? Okay, what are the notes of this? Yamato's move is a reference to a poem. Oh, the final attack in the chapter, Cornadio, which is the name of the bull horn's hand gesture. The rock on. Which is the name for with punk music. That's kind of funny, actually. Yo, I love the art here for the Grim Reaper. But like, the more I look at it, the more it looks like Brook. I just don't know where he would have gotten a scythe from. Because like I said, he ends up running up on... Like... He was in the basement, one level or two levels below where Zoro is. Yo, this art is good. Shout out to Grace on Twitter, alright, who does the colouring at the end of these chapters. This is freaking beautiful. Like, some of these are actually beautiful. I love the... Wait, there was an actual eye effect in the chapter? For the bull? No, there isn't. Yo, I love that eye effect. They make it look like the bull's going wild. Okay, based on this chapter, do you think Law has done enough against Big Mom? Has Law met your hopes or wants for what he would have achieved against the Yonko so far? Or do you think that we need more from Law? Because I definitely feel like we need more from Kid, right? But I'm wondering if Oda's going to handle that one person after the other. There's honestly not too much you can do with the magnetic fruit aside from charging magnetic fields or islands or something. I mean, Tom Crass, let me put a perspective in your mind, right? If Kid is able to grab a chunk of metal, right? Magnetize a series of metal, right? Like he normally does, makes his big body, right? And he's able to specifically, because we see him have a lot of sharp objects, right? If he's able to imbue Haki into these objects to fight, that's one massive power up he could have done, right? It would take some basic Rio, but some higher tier basic Rio, you know, to infuse Haki into a lot of like objects, you know, the imbuement Haki, right? Like a lot of swordsmen do. If he's able to do that, imagine if he takes it to the next step and he develops advanced Rio on top of that, or Conqueror's Rio, because I mean, we see that people can use Advanced Conqueror's Haki on a sword, right? So you can imbue it onto something other than yourself. This man Kid could come out, right, with, instead of like a big metal fist, like he normally does, right? Imagine if he has a big metal fist with advanced Rio coming off it. Like, and I know he doesn't have these things. I'm just saying, like, this is what he could do to sort of spice up his moveset if he had the ability, right? He comes in with a big right hook, big right hand, advanced Rio, and Conqueror's Haki on it. And instead of punching the person, when he gets to the point in time where he would have made contact, the hand splits and wraps around the person, and he crushes them with it. Right? Like getting stabbed by, like, you know, 10 different, like, bits of metal or sword or whatever that have advanced armament or advanced conquerors on it. That could, like, my guy Kid could be out here with the magnet fruit making storms of metal that cut you to shit. And if his Haki game was just a little bit next tier, just that chef kiss level like Luffy, my dude would be out here dropping fools in all sorts of messed up ways. Right? And the worst part is I fell for it in the past, right? Where I thought Kid may have had Rio. Obviously, that ship has sailed. I just know he doesn't have it at this point in time. But that's not to say he's not the kind of character that could potentially have a Haki bloom mid-fight, having seen Luffy do it, having heard Luffy talk about it, and potentially grow from there. Kid can't use Rio or Conqueror's coding. I think that it's the rush in going to the new world made so. I mean, I agree 100%, right? Like, I know he can't do those things, but I'm saying if he's able to develop those things, right, he would definitely elevate to that, like, Yonko threat level, right? And you say if Kid could do that, he would be more OP than Luffy? No, he wouldn't. Because anyone that can use full body Rio would be immune to any of that attack. Right? We saw Luffy literally fly through a borrow breath like it's nothing. And I know we've seen people like Kinemon cut it in half, right? But there is a reasonable argument to be had that if you go full-bodied Rio, it drains a lot of Haki from you. It's like Gear 4 was, right? But if you go full-body Rio, right? And someone attacks you like that, like tries to cut you with 1,000 little things, even if they've got advanced Haki on them, arguably they will not hurt you, right? Arguably, it would just hit the barrier and bounce or just clash. No different to what we saw with like Whitebeard and Roger clashing or Luffy and Kaido clashing, right? Because we've seen Luffy use full body Rio. We know it's a thing and it's a possibility, right? We just don't know if anyone else can fight like that. Because it's like, I would argue that that'll be the thing about, that would be the great thing about Shanks, right? And that's the only thing that I hold out for Shanks to have over the other Yonko right now. Because at this point in time, as sad as it is, like if you asked me a year ago or 2 years ago, you know, Shanks versus the other Yonko, I'd be like, well, Shanks has more advanced Haki than them. Now I'm like, Big Mom and Kaido have shown advanced types of Haki, right? I can't say that there's a new advanced type on top of advanced that Shanks is going to have unique to him to keep him equal with these people. So I sort of look at it and I go, okay, well, he could just be a more avid user than these people at some Hakis, right? We know that full-bodied Ryu is a thing. Like, he could just go full-bodied Ryu and it's like he's in a bubble and nothing hurts him. And it's like, it may drain more Haki than what the other people use to attack him, but like, it's just like a perfect shield sort of thing almost. Almost like wearing one of Bartolomeo's barriers. But you've got a time limit for how long you can wear it. You know what I mean? Kid learned Haki by just experience. What he lacks is that trainer. I mean, Kid learned Haki through getting his shit rocked and just trial and error, right? Luffy was tutored in Haki, and now he's consciously understand the mechanics for Haki, and is personally putting the mechanics into development to emulate better abilities, which develops into better abilities. Kid gets hyped up to be just as good as Luffy, right? That was the whole point of Udon, right? Kid is like just as potential-wise as Luffy. He's just not the main character. There could be just as much potential for Kid, if this fight continues, to develop Rio or develop Conqueror's coding, right? It's just going to be a bit of a stretch because at this point in time, we haven't even seen him use regular armament Haki. Like, we've been told he has it. He has just not showcased it. So it's like, everything Kid has done so far has been without Haki as far as we're aware, right? We haven't even seen him Haki up his metal arm and do a punch with it. Because that alone would make such tremendous difference. Like, look at a pre-time skip Gear 3 punch as opposed to an elephant gun. Leagues different. You know what I mean? So it's like, if Oda wanted to, there is ways for kids to make leaps and strides and it still not have him overshadow Luffy or beat Luffy. But what I will say, and I will continue to say, is at this point in time, he's wasted potential in a lot of capacities. And I'm wondering if Oda's done that on purpose because he wanted to showcase Law as being a bit better. Because Law's going to go down first and then Kid's going to come in second. Now, Kid may or may not beat Big Mom. At this point in time, I'm leaning towards maybe not beating Big Mom. I don't know, right? But we know that Big Mom's pretty worn out here and pretty tired herself. And it's also really important to note that the more tired Big Mom gets, the more likely she is to go into a hunger pain, right? And on top of that, the more tired she gets, we know the weaker she gets. That was a big thing in the Whole Cake Island arc, is the longer she went without food and the more tired she got, the significantly weaker she got. Like, it was just a constant decline, where attacks that happened earlier on in the arc, right, that were arguably stronger than attacks that happened later on in the arc, attacks that were much bigger and stronger earlier on in the arc didn't hurt her. Later on in the arc, lesser attacks were doing more damage and actually damaging her. You know what I mean? And the main character vibes. I mean, true. Big Mom shouldn't be beaten by these two. She's a freaking Yonko. I mean, I agree, right? I 100% agree that Big Mom is a freaking Yonko, and I don't expect her to be beaten by these people, right? And I mean, she, at this point in time, it's really a coin toss on who you think will win, right? Because based on what we've seen so far, Law's done a lot more damage than Kid here. So it's like, and Big Mom's tanking that shit. So like, I'm sitting here, giving her a round of applause. The Insane Big Biddy is just beating these fools down, and she's being impressive, and she's going 2v1, right? The flip of it is, there is enough setup, enough knowledge, and enough room for growth for either or both of these characters to get significant level ups and hurt Big Mom. Because you got to think, going into this, Law and Kid did not know about Advanced Armament Haki or Advanced Conqueror's Haki. Now that they know it, there is a potential for them to develop it or trial and error through this fight. It just depends on how long we see this fight going for. I think that's only when she has cravings. Maybe Oda will use Oshiriko as cravings. And if she goes to Amnesia one more time, I'm going to be pissed too. I mean, look, I honestly don't think she's going to have Amnesia again. If she does, dude, I agree. Alright? Parson Mohan, if she has Amnesia one more time, I'm just going to be there just like, dude, what the shit? Oda, come on, man. You know, you are better than this. Alright? Be better for your people. But at the same point in time, like, there's enough there. Because it's like, Luffy learned how to do advanced armament because he knew it was a thing. And he got the process explained to him and demonstrated to him. Right? Then he saw and did the same for advanced conquerors. Kid and Law did not know those things existed. And now they're seeing those things. There is a potential for them to develop those things. It just may not happen as well, right? There's also room, arguably, for Kid's awakening to have more to it. We just don't know. Even Law's, arguably, but so far from how we see Laws operate, it's... he can manipulate anything in his room. He's just turning an object into a room and manipulating that, if that makes sense. I think that's the simplest way to describe it. Which top 3 warlords, past or present, had the best haki? Gexor says Mihawk, Boa, Dofi. I mean, I agree, actually. It's Mihawk, Boa, Dofi so far from what we've seen. I would say it's Mihawk, then Boa, then Dofi, though. Conqueror's Haki uses for me, if Kuma got better Haki, he won't be manipulated. I mean, there's an argument, though, because it's like, we know the Revolutionary Army has advanced armament Haki users, so it's like, Kuma could have had that, and we just never saw it. But then again, like, does he need it because of the paw pad cannons? I mean, he rejects light. He rejects air at the speed of light. The guy is pretty busted. I miss Nami, though. She's far too gone in the chapter. Oh, I get how you feel. Also, Carrot. They're just blending in at this point in time, unfortunately. Yo, we got a new subscriber. Cheers, my guy. 95, it's good to get there. Yo, okay. So, you were saying before, Ged, that Big Mum only got weakened in her hunger state. I would argue she gets weaker the longer she goes without food while expending energy, right? I would say her hunger pain affects her mindset, but the overall... because you got to remember, she was doing Elbaf spears, she was chasing them for 8 hours, or 12 hours almost. So, you know, she was doing Elbaf spears, she was chasing them, she was doing lightning attacks, giant fire attacks. She was a little bit fasted before as well. Not a great deal, but she was looking forward to the cake. So it's like, I can see a genuine argument here being made that it's not necessarily her hunger pains that causes her to, like, degenerate here. But it's like, if she just doesn't eat in general and does a lot of, like, high energy expenditure things, that she just slowly weakens. Because, like, when they're running through the seducing woods, right? Big Mum gets hit with a massive bolt of lightning, and she doesn't scream or anything. It just takes her and the ground around her out, and then that big bitty just climbs through the earth like a T-2000 Terminator. She just eats through the gravel. You know what I mean? But then, when we get to the Sunny, right? Nami manipulates Zeus and hits her with a bolt of lightning, and she screams in pain because after she loses a lot of weight and she's been tired, she gets weaker, right? Now that attack on the ship is a hell of a lot weaker than the same attack that Nami did at the beginning of the chase scene in the Seducing Woods. On scale, on everything. You know what I mean? So, like, we know she does get weaker over time. Maybe you're right, since I remember it's not that 12-hour chase. Yeah, true. Right? Like, it was a prolonged period of time, right? I can see why maybe it hasn't come into effect here, or won't come into effect here, because the raid probably hasn't gone that long, arguably. And we know that she had Oshiruko at the beginning of this section. Like, the Beast Pirates were feeding it to her. But it's like, there is a possibility that, like, she's eaten a year of her lifespan to power up. She's been doing multiple Elbaf spears, right? She's been using her powers way more and way more impressively than she did in Whole Cake Island. She made a whole new damn homie from scratch out of her soul, right? And I'm not talking about like the little fodder ones. I'm talking a big scale one like Hera. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all this stuff, it's costing her stamina, because it's like we don't like to think about it, because it's like, you know, we like to think these people are always like going in, and the longer the fight lasts, it's like, you know, the last hit is still their biggest and best hit. Look at Kaido, man. I mean, at this point in time, we were already told that Kaido's struggling to keep Onigashima up because he's fatigued and tired, right? And that was before Luffy came back and started fighting him. Like, that's like him lifting up, like that's him fighting all the scabbards, fighting, you know, the rooftop 5, then fighting Yamato, and then going, oh, I'm a little bit tired, I was just expecting to drink, and then fighting Luffy, who's essentially fighting him roughly equally. You know what I mean? So it's like, Kaido and Big Mom are worn out. They've done a hell of a lot of impressive stuff, right? I mean, even look at their Divine Sovereignty, their joint like Elbaf spear. That shit was huge. Think of the calories that thing would have consumed. You know what I mean? Like, how many tons of Oshiruko does this girl need to swing her sword so strong that it deletes a hole 1 kilometer long off an island? You know what I'm saying? She also said she didn't have enough soul power to fight Marco, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I agree with that, except what I would argue that is because of how Big Mom's powers work, right? For her to fight as she normally would, say, on her island, she needs a lot of homies. She's not going to waste her soul on a lot of homies. If you watch through this arc, she just grabs up a shit ton of beast pirates and makes homies after, right? She doesn't tend to overly use her own soul to make homies. We don't know if she can return the souls to someone. Like, we don't know if she can take the soul out of herself, make a homie, and then after the homie done its thing, take the soul back and put it back into herself. We don't know if that's possible for her. It's implied that she can't put souls into an already living thing, but we don't know if she takes her own, like, it's alone. We don't know how that works. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when Big Mom was out there fighting Marco, right? She was limited to her own abilities there. She didn't have her like regular numbers advantage that she normally does from setup. If Big Mom can eat soul, can she feed soul to another human? I have this headcanon that instead of Nami having Big Mom's devil fruit, she'll get her soul. For Big Mom to feed someone else her soul, if it's possible, it would have to be done in a way where she feels the need to eat another year of her soul to power up, and someone eats it then. If that's the case, I unfortunately don't see it being Nami. And I've seen a panel that can be proof that even if Big Mom died, her homies are still able to live separately. Okay, when you say that, is that because of the flower that she finds? Like, do her homies live past her? Because Mother Carmel died, I remember that, and next time we saw her ability, Big Mum had it, and she accidentally created a flower and was like, oh, look, it's Mother Carmel's ability. So I don't remember if there was anything... Oh! Do you know... Oh... See, it's hard because there's also the Giant's Shield. Is it Road? What are the new giant pirates' names? It's Road or Gold, right? His shield has a homie face. You could say that was from Mother Carmel, but we also know that Big Mum was in touch with giants in between that time, and actively was trying to ally with them. For all we know, she could have made a homie then and given it to that person. So I don't know if there's anything that directly states that her homies live past death. Because there could be explanations for each and every one of those things, you know what I'm saying? If that's what you're talking about. If you're talking about another panel entirely, please let me know. Because the more I know, the better. Like, I used to think that Big Mum was immune to anything she made a homie from. Like, she becomes immune to that element, but only that homie's element, right? Because, like, she's wearing Prometheus as a hairpiece. You know what I'm saying? And she rides Zeus and just goes through lightning like crazy. But that got corrected to me because she did take damage when Nami manipulated her the second time in Whole Cake Island when they were fighting her off the ship. Nami hits her with the lightning bolt, she screams and it does damage there. Whereas previously, when Nami did the same thing with lightning, it didn't damage her. So, like, I've already had to check myself on that in the past. But, I mean, if you think you've got proof that her ability consists past that, let me know, please. Yo. Honestly, I don't... Is anyone else a little bit disappointed by the Heart Pirates and the, what's Kid's crew's name again? The Kid Pirates? Is that it? Is that their proper name? Is anyone else a little disappointed by the fodder on their crews? Like, you just wish them to just do a little bit more, right? Like, would it have hurt to even have seen them at least take down gifters? You know what I mean? Because I don't even think we've seen them do that outside of Beppo with Sachi and Penguin in like a 3-on-1. And even then, I think it was just pleasurers. Yeah, is there anything I missed this chapter? I've gone through practically the whole thing. Yeah. Alright. I haven't really talked much about the bomb. Yamato frees the bomb, but this thing's still starting to melt through them. And she hits it with an ice attack, and it does do damage to this thing. So she may be able to just freeze it to counter it. That is a possibility. That is definitely a good possibility. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap the stream up there for today. I'll stream again over the weekend for the discussion, the regular discussion that I do for the chapter, right? So I'll wrap it up there. Peace for anyone that's coming. Much appreciated. Absolute champions to those of you that subscribed as well, all right? Absolutely love it. Much appreciated. But that being said, all right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Unfortunately, a lot happened this chapter, but, like, on my own to dissect, there's not a lot to talk about. There'll be a lot more to talk about in terms of setup and potential going forward. But it's like, it's really hard. Like, at this point in time, it's just sort of like, yeah, okay. You know, dissected this, dissected that. There's not much else to really mention at this point. So, that being said, nothing but love, nothing but respect. Cheers for coming. All right, have a damn good day. Goodbye.